Okay, I'm ready.
I'm filming.
Okay, so thank you for clicking on the link to watch this video. The idea of these videos are not to replace any academy or team training session. What they're going to be designed to do, that are going to be coming at you periodically over the next couple of days, potentially the next couple of weeks, is for you to just keep your skills sharp, get active, have a bit of a workout. As far as our academies go, like our last email stated, we intend to fully honour and reschedule every single session. When that is, remains to be seen. In the meantime, click on these videos, show them to your kids, and you know, try as best you can to keep them engaged and playing in a safe environment as much and as best you can. So there is going to be a need to pause the video after each kind of skill has been demonstrated, so that the kids can practice them. But for the most part, this is going to be a very raw video, no bells and whistles or special effects. It's just me in the park, social distancing, and showing you some of the snippets from our academy curriculum that you can practice at home until we eventually get back to it. So today we're going to look at different turns. So we'll start off with a warm-up. I've set up my grid here. It's a very, very small, 15 by 15 area, more than 6 feet away from anyone else. And I have a ball. If you have a couple balls, then great. And we're going to start off with a warm-up where I'm just going to be running around the grid, getting my touches on the ball using the different surfaces of my foot. So we'll get started with that now. Okay, so 4 different parts of the foot that you can use whenever dribbling with the ball. The inside of your foot, typically used to pass the ball. This big surface area here of your foot. The outside of your foot, to nudge the ball into whichever direction you want to go. Also, the laces of your foot, again, just to nudge the ball in any direction you want to go. And then finally, the bottom of your foot, which is typically used just to navigate the ball slightly to the left or slightly in front or slightly behind, so that you can set yourself up to do whatever it is you want to do next. Those are the 4 surfaces of the foot, and they are typically what's used when dribbling and when turning. So that's your warm-up. Both feet, right foot and left foot, all surfaces of your foot. You can tell I'm out of breath because I've been at home for the past 3 weeks, but that's what we're going to do for a warm-up. I suggest you pause the video now and try that yourself for 30 to 60 seconds. Okay, well done. Turns. Again, these videos typically take an hour in an academy setting. They're going to be a little bit shorter here for obvious reasons. So we'll start off with a very simple turn, the drag back turn. So come with me. So, the drag back or the pull back turn is typically used to get away from traffic, to get away from a sideline, to get away from trouble. When you're dribbling, let's say this cone here is the defender or the sideline, what we're going to do is we're going to fake to strike the ball, we're going to drag it back and go in the opposite direction. Okay, what I'm going to do now, before I break down the exact mechanics of how this works and the benefits of it, I'm just going to scatter some cones in my grid, and I'm going to dribble around using the 4 surfaces of my foot. When I come to a yellow cone or defender, I'm going to do the drag back turn to go the other way. So, here's how it works. If you want to come a little bit closer. A little bit closer. Okay, we go into turns slowly and we come out the other side fast. The whole point of a turn is to go away, like I said earlier, from the trouble, from the defender, from the sideline. So it's important when we're doing the drag back turn to make sure that it's a complete 180 turn. You're going in one direction and then you go completely the opposite. It's not a turn if I deviate away and go slightly to the right or slightly to the left. It's a full 180 turn to avoid whatever it is you're trying to avoid. So when we get about 4 or 5 yards away from the thing that we want to turn from, we're going to slow down. Then, in order to trick the defender and give ourselves as much room as possible to exit the opposite side and for them to not steal the ball, we're keeping the ball very close to our body. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to make this exaggerated movement here as if I'm striking the ball. The defender, hopefully with this, is going to be on the back foot, making it harder for them to steal the ball from you. So, I'm exaggerating this movement here as if I'm going to strike the ball, and what I'm doing, I'm just lifting my foot on top of the ball. My non-kicking foot is bent. I'm dragging it through my legs. I'm exiting the side that the ball was dragged through, and then with my nearest foot to the ball, I then push it towards the space and I accelerate out the other side. Okay, so we'll break it down again. Go. And we recommend that you do this in stages at first. Do it very slowly, do it down section by section before you can get ready to do it at game speed. Once you think you've got it, go back to the drill that I did earlier and dribble towards all of these cones and do it at game speed. Remember, go in slow, come out fast. Shape to strike the ball, bend your non-kicking foot, foot on top of the ball, drag it back, hence the name drag back, exit the side the ball came through, and then explode at speed out the other side. While I catch my breath because I'm incredibly unfit, pause this video right now and go and work on that for the next 60 to 80 seconds. And keep it rolling while I set the next one. Okay, welcome back. Remember, we don't have to master this all in that 60 to 80 seconds. We do it, we fail, we learn, we get better. I suggest you film yourself so you can see how much this looks like Ronaldo or Messi or Grealish exploding out from a turn. We've talked about the mechanics of how we break this down. That's very important that we understand, excuse the noise, we understand the piece by piece mechanics that goes into the turn and why we're doing it. We're turning away from the pressure. So I'm going to give you another example now of a turn similar to the drag back turn. This is called the Cruyff turn, and it's called the Cruyff turn because of the world famous soccer player Johan Cruyff from the Netherlands, one of the greatest of all times. He did this move and the first time we saw it, it absolutely destroyed a defender, completely sold the defender into thinking he was doing one thing when he was doing the other. The benefit of this move over the drag back turn is it really sells the defender that you're going to strike a ball, and the difference are only very minimal. So here it is, exactly the same as the drag back turn. We're going to approach the ball as if we're going to strike it, and instead of my foot going on top of the ball, what I'm going to do is I'm going to circulate my foot all the way around the outside of the ball to the top of the ball. At this point, if you were to freeze frame, it looks pretty awkward, but it's all happening so fast. With my knee bent, the inside of my kicking foot is gonna give it a little nudge I then turn the outside way, and with my non-kicking foot, I nudge it and go into space. Looks weird, looks awkward, but when you do it in full motion, again, it really sells the defender into thinking you're doing one thing when you're actually doing another. So, exactly the same setup. I'm going to throw down some of these cones, and for 30 to 60 seconds, I'm going to work on doing that Cruyff turn. So. Now with the left foot, this is harder. Okay, so that's the Cruyff turn. It's about, again, really selling to the defender. You're going to do one thing, you do the other. I even slowed down, I even threw in a fake look up as if I was going to pick out someone, and then bang, I go the other way. So 30 seconds to 60 seconds, same setup, give that a try. Pause this video right now and crack on. So unfair. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully we had some success with the drag back turn and the Cruyff turn. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you 2 more turns for this video. This should be plenty to work on now through until the next video comes out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify slightly. Perhaps we should have started with this and moved on to the drag back turn and the Cruyff turn, but you know, you have access to this video all the time now, so you can go back and do this in whichever order you want. Real simple. Inside hook turn, outside hook turn. Okay, we'll start with the inside hook. We talked about the 4 surfaces of your foot to warm up with that we can use to navigate the ball. Inside hook and outside hook is the best way to understand that in as much as in as far as pertains to turns. Inside hook, real simple. I'm going to be moving in one direction, and I'm going to turn the ball with the inside of my foot and go in the other direction. Okay, simply put, it looks like this. I'll show you out here. Okay. The difference with this type of turn is it doesn't necessarily have to be 180. Unlike the drag back and the Cruyff turn that's complete 180s, this can be used to steer you off to the left if you're right-footed, steer you off to the right if you're left-footed. If you take a look at the ball now, the way I'm going to do this is the same with the Cruyff and with the inside hook. I'm selling my opponent into think I'm doing one thing and I'm doing the other. So it may be a look up one way, it may be a drop of the shoulder, but essentially all I'm doing is I'm approaching the ball as if I'm going to strike it, and then I'm just flicking the ball with the inside of my foot and rearing off in another direction. If I want to go back 180 with an inside hook, I have to make sure that I'm quick on my feet to get my body out of the way. Otherwise, I'm just flicking it into my standing left foot. So let me demonstrate again, 30 seconds of the inside hook, but I'm going to do some where I'm rearing off to the left using my right foot, some where I'm going to the right with my left foot, and some where I'm 180ing and going in completely the opposite direction. When I do that, notice how quickly I need to move my body around the ball in order for this to be successful. Harder with my left foot. Okay, 60 to 80 seconds. Give that a try. Remember, you don't have to be 180. You can slightly lean off one way or the other. Don't do what I did and do 90% with your right foot. Do as many with your left as you can with your right. So pause the video now. Last one. And the final one, welcome back to the final one, outside hook. Essentially the same thing as the inside hook, all the same instructions. We can use it to steer left, steer right, depending on which foot you use, or you can use it to 180. If you're right-footed and you want a 180 and go in completely the opposite direction, it's where you put your foot. If you put your foot round here, and if you treat the soccer ball as like a world, I'd say the outside of your foot needs to be at Southern California, you're going to rear off in this direction, to the right. If you wrap your foot around all the way to Greenland, you're going to go back the way you came from. And if you're really quick and you wrap your foot all the way around to Russia, Japan, the Middle East, you almost go off in a 370 direction. So, same thing now, I'm going to demonstrate. I'll use both my right and my left foot, and again, depending on how far I wrap my foot around the ball is going to depend where I'm going to end up turning. But you can even have a little touch here down in Chile, and it's almost not even a turn, it's just a slight navigation. So here we go, 30 seconds. Okay, that's our fourth turn of the day, outside hook. We've also done inside hook, we've done the Cruyff turn, and we've done the drag back or pull back move. We must make sure we use our left foot as much as we use our right foot. Try and, in your mind, break down the mechanics and the stages. One stage at a time as to how to do this. Do it slowly, do it at a walking pace, and then you can build up and do it at game speed. Once you've done that, if you have access to a goal, I would recommend finishing off your moves with a final pass or a finish. So I've got a target set up here if you're fortunate enough to have one. Before you move on to the next skill, once you've mastered it, maybe this comes by the second or third time you've watched this video, give yourself a target at the end. Okay, so maybe I've got a stopwatch going, I'm doing my skills, and bang, I finish with a goal, and then I'd crack on with another ball and go again. So I'm going to finish this video by combining them all together. Inside hook, outside hook, Cruyff, drag back turn, and I'm going to finish off by putting the ball in the back of the net. I'm fortunate enough to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 balls. So I'm going to go for 10 seconds each ball, and once 10 seconds is up, I'm going to fire the ball into the back of the net, and then that will conclude our video. So this is how we're going to finish, but thank you very much for clicking the link. Hopefully as many of you as possible watch this video. If you did, reply to our email, follow us on Facebook, First Touch Soccer Coaching, follow us on Instagram, First Touch Coaching. This is obviously an unprecedented situation. No one knows how it's going to be resolved. Hopefully it will be resolved as soon as possible, but periodically, in the meantime, we'll be sending you these videos to keep your kids going. Again, they don't replace the sessions, they're just to keep you ticking over until we eventually get back. So I'm going to finish with this. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you next time. Ready, 10 seconds each. Time. you.